people still don't know everything that we do. Water softeners, iron filters, reverse osmosis drinking water systems, bottled water, salt delivery, electric water heaters, gas water heaters, power vent water heaters, tankless heaters. Install or service it all. 608-752-4718. E&D Waterworks. If water runs to it or through it, we do it.
Josh Goldberg, John Barry, ready to go here at Riverside Park at Veterans Field. Going to have a little bit earlier start time. Apologize for cutting Coach Herbst off, but Eric Hughes, the center fielder for Craig, will step in, and he will take a ball from Evan Jackson from Milton. Craig, the visiting team, as this game was scheduled to be in Milton and got moved to Riverside up a couple of days. Jackson kicks and fires, and Hughes takes a strike. Hughes, the junior, will bat leadoff for the Cougars. Evan Jackson, a sophomore, throwing for Milton. We'll get you the rest of the starting lineup here momentarily. 1-1 pitch on the way from Jackson. That is a little bit outside. It's
maybe they didn't want to play Saturday with a foot of snow. Maybe that was the reason.
I think that's probably. We can play on the high banks of the Rock River.
Why not?
Instead of snow. 2-1 pitch. Swung on, hit to left. Back on it is Caleb Dahman, still going back. And this one is out of here. Leadoff home run for Eric Hughes. And Craig is on the board 1-0 on a blast over the left center field wall.
You know, Craig's just not going to have the power this year that they've had. They switched up the leadoff hitter. They bring in this Hughes kid, and you know, it's just, a down year is going to continue. That's all I got to say for the Cougars. A leadoff home run. I don't think I've ever seen that in a high school or softball to begin the season.
First
ever.
Swing of the season in a game, and it goes over the fences. Now, taking nothing away from Mr. Hughes, the wind's blowing out a little bit today.
Yeah.
And he got that one up just to the left of the scoreboard, but
that would have been out of Little League. That would have been out of Little League.
Man. Second batter stepping in will be the senior catcher, number 4, Clark Schmaling. He takes the ball down low from Jackson. Craig on the board, 1-0 on a leadoff home run.
See the difference between you and I and Eric Hughes? I'd grab my glove and my cleats and I'd be headed home.
Just be done.
I'm done.
Coach, I'm out.
I'm out. I hit a leadoff home run. I've got nothing more to do, Coach. I enjoyed my time here. I'll see you later.
2-0 pitch from Jackson. That drops in for a strike on Schmaling, who takes over the catching duties from Jacob Campbell. The next batter, the shortstop, Dan Blomgren for Janesville Craig. Mike Overly, the DH, will bat in the cleanup spot. 2-1 pitch is upstairs. 3-1 now to Schmaling. Fifth hitter will be Tresson Kussmaul in left field. Ryan Herbst, the first baseman, will hit sixth. Jacob Hessling at second base will be the seventh batter. Here's the 3-1. That's upstairs, and a walk to Schmaling. So a runner on with nobody out, and that'll bring up Blomgren. The eighth batter will be Gavin Keelan, the freshman, will be starting at third base, and then the ninth hitter, Tegan Christensen, will be in right field.
And I think if you're Chris Agnew, you realize with Evan Jackson, a sophomore, a pretty big, tall task, your first time out against the sixth-ranked team in the state. But, just throw strikes. I mean, if they hit it, you tip your hat. But the last thing you want is to walk people.
Opening pitch from Jackson is down low and outside, and the runner holds as Blomgren takes, and it's 1-0. Leadoff home run.
That's crazy. It's like Nintendo or something.
Schmaling away from first base. Blomgren steps in. 1-0 pitch coming from Jackson. That's down low and inside, 2-0. Milton will give you their lineup before the Redhawks come to bat. Keegan Knutsen's over at third. Charlie Terrell is at shortstop. Jack Campion at second. And Ethan Hafner at first base. Bailey Nickel is doing the catching for Evan Jackson. The 2-0 pitch coming up, and that is upstairs. 3-0 on Blomgren. Caleb Dahman, Colin Schutz, and Fletcher Terrell in the outfield left to right.
Got to believe the leash probably going to be a little tight on Mr. Jackson here, just because Milton's got some more games coming up, and you want to get as many guys some innings as you can early part of the year.
Down low, and another walk as Schmaling heads to second, and Blomgren is now aboard at first base.
Yeah, and here comes Chris right now just to say, settle down. Just,
all right.
You're okay. I mean, it's not do or die. I mean,
first game of the season, I think. Nobody's ready to go, balls to the wall first game of the season. I mean, take the leadoff homer out of it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you just just relax and, treat it as another game and not worry about it. And, once you get that first out, things tend to get, relaxed a little bit, and that's all you want from right now. And
now the Cougars couldn't be in a better position.
No, exactly. You got your 4-hitter up, run in already, and first and second, nobody out. So, a good spot for Micah Overly, and he's a kid that usually makes pretty good contact.
So Overly will be the batter. The senior playing at the DH spot today. Mitchell Wolfley will get the start in the bottom half of the first. Again, Craig, the visiting team today at their own ballpark.
Tournament time or late in the conference season, and this might be a bunting situation, but
there you go. He squares, lays it down, third base side foul halfway along, and Knutson charges in from third to grab it in foul territory. 0-1 to Overly.
And I think more than anything, Vic just wants this team to be fundamentally sound and do the right things. And normally you wouldn't see your cleanup hitter bunting in the first game of the year. But again, Vic, I think the first thing he's going to stress is, look, we might not put up the runs that we put up in the past, so we've got to be able to manufacture some, and this is a good opportunity for Overly to move the runners over.
2 on, nobody out. 0-1 pitch coming to Overly, the lefty in there. That is down low, and a ball evens it at 1-1 to Overly.
Overly headed to Milwaukee School of Engineering. Is that correct?
Yep, I believe so.
Mr. Steve Sanfilippo?
I'm losing track of where all these kids are going to the next level.
You're almost to the point you're better off just naming the kids that aren't going on to play college baseball for Craig.
1-1 pitch coming up from Jackson. That is outside and 2-1.
I keep waiting for the manager of the Craig team to get a scholarship somewhere.
It's a valuable position.
It is. But no, I mean, it's, there's a lot that goes into it. Good for those kids. It's, that's why you play.
2-1 count to Overly. Jackson kicks and fires, and that is a ball. 3-1.
Jackson's all over the place.
Yep.
He's been up, he's been down, he's just.
Inside outs, yeah.
Yep. He's not where he wants to be, and that's over the middle of the plate.
I think an out would go a long way at this point.
Any out,
right.
Even if it moves the runners up.
Yep. So 3-1 pitch, here it is, and that is way upstairs, and 3 straight walks now for the Cougars, 2-3-4 hitters, and the bases are loaded with nobody out. And Blomgren goes to second, Schmaling to third, and Overly aboard at first for Tresson Kussmaul, the left fielder.
The bullpen is busy for the Red Hawks. I can't see from here exactly who it is, but
you guys didn't bring your binoculars.
I did not.
Mr.
Season? Murphy's probably got it eyed up because
right.
He's got eyes like a hawk. So,
all right. So standing in will be Kussmaul. Opening pitch from Jackson, right down the middle, and Kussmaul takes the strike, gets ahead of the Cougar left fielder.
Kussmaul, you hated to see his football season ended early with that concussion, but boy, was he impressive.
Yes, he was.
When he was going good.
Here's the delivery from Jackson. That's outside, even at a ball and a strike. Cougars on the board first with a leadoff home run from Eric Hughes, and now they have the bases loaded with nobody out. And the 5-man Tresson Kussmaul at the plate. Here's the 1-1. That's high and tight. 2-1 on Kussmaul.
Jackson going out of the stretch instead of going out of the windup instead of the stretch, which you just walk 3 straight batters. But
here it is. That's another high and tight one. 3-1.
He's just not. He's not in any rhythm right now. He's just all over the place. He's not finishing very well, and I got to believe that
this is probably it if he gets somebody in.
If he doesn't get an out here.
3-1, and here it is. Swung on and fouled back to the screen, and it's full now on Tresson Kussmaul. Decent crowd for an earlier start at 4:30.
Yeah, and I would say it's a little chillier than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
I think the forecast was upper 50s and sunny, and the wind makes it a little bit cooler than that. Blankets are out, and Hunter Pernot
I'm just glad that
warming
we're out
up
here.
in the bullpen, and like I say, we'll see what happens here.
3-2 pitch is popped up, and it will get over the netting and right in front of us in the picnic tables. So still full on Kussmaul. 3-2, nobody out, bases loaded for Janesville Craig.
I know that I'm not going to mention any names, but I know that the Red Hawks do have a starter missing due to vacation or spring break.
That's hit to right field foul, and it will make foul territory as
Campion made
Campion at
good
second.
wheels, but just too far over to.
Hafner couldn't get it at first, and Fletcher Terrell coming in from right landed in a perfect spot between all three of them. So 3-2 still on Kussmaul. As Jackson back on the mound. Gets the sign he wants from Bailey Nickel. Here's the windup and the pitch. Smack to left field, and that is going to get down for a base hit. And the runners will advance, and it's 2-0 Janesville Craig as that drops in front of Caleb Dahman in left field for an RBI single.
Nice piece of hitting by Kussmaul. Fought off a couple of good pitches and then got one there. And like you say, it all looks the same in the scorebook. Little Texas blooper, but RBI and a single for him. And
Schmaling comes in to score. Blomgren to third. Overly at second. And Kussmaul aboard at first on an RBI. And now the batter will be Ryan Herbst, the first baseman. Opening pitch is taken, strike one.
Ryan coming off a good summer and got himself an opportunity next year to play at UW Stout.
Yeah.
So, again, it's kids taking advantage of situations and making the most of them, and good for them.
0-1 to Herbst, and that drops in nicely on the outside corner. 0-2 now to the Cougar first baseman.
That's about 5 straight strikes for Jackson, so maybe he's found a little bit of a groove and he can muster his way out of this.
Jackson looks in and comes to the plate. That one's high, up around the helmet area of Herbst. He takes that for a ball. 1-2 now. Top of the first, 2-0 Janesville Craig.
Corners are in. Corner infielders are in. The second shorter, I would say, normal depth, so they're just looking to get an out.
1-2 pitch is hit back up the middle, ranging to his left. Terrell flips to second, but Campion can't get it in the bag, maybe a little bit wide. They just can't connect. Well, and the run will score.
Yeah, and you can't assume a double play, so I'll give Herbst an RBI on that, but I can't give him a base hit. That's got to be an error. I understand what you're trying to do there, trying to get two, but in this situation, when you're just trying to get an out, just flipping the ball. Yep. He tried to flip it with his glove instead of taking it out of the glove and just flipping him and getting an out. Campion couldn't control it, and all of a sudden it's 3-0, and the bases are still loaded.
So 3 runs are in on an E6 for the Red Hawks. Overly at third, Kussmaul the second. Herbst is aboard at first for Jacob Hessling, the second baseman. Opening pitch from Jackson, and that's in there for a strike. Kind of deflating for the pitcher. It is.
He got
a chance
he
to
made
get
a
it
good
out.
pitch there.
Yep.
He's made good pitches to the last 2 batters. Kussmaul just got enough of it to dump it over the shortstop's head, and then you get a play there that you should at least got 1 out of it and possibly 2, and you don't get any.
There's one down low. And it evens it at 1 ball and 1 strike for Hessling, who got some time at second with some rotations last year among the pitchers.
Yep. Usually when Berghammer was on the hill. And
here's the 1-1. And Hessling looks at one that drops in for a strike.
Jackson's best pitch of the day right there. A nice hanging curveball, and he kind of froze Hessling a little bit there, and now he's got him in the hole 1-2. So
still nobody out. Bases loaded for Janesville Craig. And a 3-0 advantage. And here's the pitch. Smacked up the middle. There goes Charlie Terrell. Diving stab. Gets it out of his glove. And the out is made at second base. Another run scores as Overly comes in. It's 4-0, but a nice defensive play made by Charlie Terrell to his left up the middle.
Yeah, he did make a nice play there and a bang-bang call at second. And Herbst just out. And Milton gets an out. Craig gets another run. And it's 4-0.
Fielder's choice on the 6-4 put out, and the first out is recorded as Hessling is at first. Herbst out at second, and Kussmaul moves to third. Here's the opening pitch down low to Gavin Keelan, the third baseman, who is getting some talk and some accolades already as a freshman.
Yeah, he is. And he's verbally committed to Louisville already, and Louisville's one of the best programs in the country. Now, that doesn't always translate into signing, but if you're getting asked as a freshman or actually an 8th grader to come play at Louisville, you've done something right. And his dad he comes with good pedigree. His dad was the pitcher ahead of Ben Sheets at Northeast Louisiana, I believe it was, or maybe Southeast. I'm not sure, but Dad is a pretty good player. Led Parker to the state championship game, and Gavin, he was part of that group, I think, with Keegan Knutson and Jack Campion, both at Milton, and, that must have been a pretty good team.
2-1 now to Keelan. Check over the runner at first. And sliding back is Hessling. 1 out, runner at first and third, 4-0 Cougars here in the top of the first. Only 2 hits in the inning so far, but 4 runs are in. And Evan Jackson, swing and a miss, and the throw down to second is cut off, and the throw back to third, and the runner is there. I think they might have had him at second, but Campion came in and cut that throw off.
Yeah, and that's a design call by the catcher. You cut it off, hope you get the runner at third leaning towards home, but as it was, Kusmal was able to get back in plenty of time, and now Craig second and third. It looked like Keelan was just protecting there.
Yep, he took a strike.
Yeah, he wasn't going to try to put the ball in play.
2-2 count as Evan Jackson kicks, and here it is. And that drops in. Strike 3 looking as Gavin Keelan goes down for out number 2. And now the batter will be Tegan Christensen. So the Cougars bat around in the top of the first, and they still got 2 runners in scoring position with a 4-0 lead.
Yeah, big out there for Jackson. Again, you can get Christensen here. You get out of here with no further damage. And
Christensen in there. Evan Jackson to the plate for his first one, and that hit
him in the
Tegan
head.
right on the helmet. Yikes.
Yeah, he looks to be okay, but I'm sure they'll check that.
Yeah. You don't mess around with that stuff anymore, so we will go back to the top of the order. And Eric Hughes.
I don't know if I've ever seen a kid hit a home run to lead off the season and follow it up in the same inning with a grand slam. That would be also new territory
Might
for
be
me.
a tall order.
But
we'll
you never know.
Now batting center fielder, Eric Hughes.
Again, I'd have been halfway home by now, so it doesn't matter.
Hey, I'm going to go listen to you guys on the radio.
Yep.
Good luck.
Love those 2 guys doing the game. I'm going to go listen because I just hit a home run to start the season.
2 down, opening pitch from Jackson. And that's down low and skips away from Bailey Nickel. Runner's going to come in to score, and the runners all move up, and it's 5-0 Janesville Craig as Kusmal crosses home.
Yeah, it's a wild pitch there. I mean, tough play for Nickel to try to make. He did his best to block it, but it took a funky hop and just couldn't stop it. And Kusmal runs well, so 5-0 Cougars.
Yep.
And
Hessling to third, Christensen at second, and a 1-0 count to Eric Hughes. And the delivery is down low for ball 2, 2-0.
If you're Craig, you couldn't ask for a better start. If you're Melton,
people just getting here 5-0 already.
Melton people are, this is nightmarish. But
a little bit, but
a lot of game left.
Yep, Milton hasn't even batted yet. 2-0 pitch from Jackson to Hughes. He swings and fouls it off his foot, even though it gets down the first baseline.
That's going to leave a mark.
Fair. Yep.
That is going to leave a mark.
He skipped out of there pretty hard.
He was going for homer number 2 of the season with that swing, yes. Now I think
I don't think you can blame him on that either.
Now you just want to put it in play and find the green somewhere.
2-1. And here it is. Swing and a hot shot down the third baseline, foul. Just past Coach Herbst.
Who's nowhere near the coach's box.
I think he's doing better early this season.
I think the WIA came down hard on him and said, we'll probably suspend you for a few games if you don't stay in the box.
2-2 the count to Hughes. Here it is from Jackson. That bounces up there. Good backhand grab by Bailey Nickel out of
nice
midair.
Play. I think that one just got away from.
Yep, a little
got away from Jackson. Tried to throw it through the backstop there.
So it'll be full now on Hughes with 2 down. Again, runners at second and third. And here's the delivery by Jackson. Swing and a miss, and Hughes goes down. So for the Cougars, after the top half of the first, 4 runs in on 2 hits, 1 error, and 2 men left. Make that 5 runs in. My fault. 5 in on 2 hits, 1 error, and 2 left. We go to the bottom half of the first. It's 5-0 Janesville Craig. We'll return after this.
Leading off for Milton.
Mitchell Wolfley,
Mitchell Wolfley on the mound.
We got a chance to talk to him at the signing day, and a kid that put on about 10, 15 pounds of muscle, and he said it really is. He's added a few pounds or miles per hour on his
smack from Knutson. He goes
fastball.
after the high fastball up around the chest area, and Knutson drills it, but straight into the glove of Jacob Hessling over at second base, and there's 1 up and 1 down.
Yep.
Charlie Terrell.
Well, he put a
He did, and that's
good bat on
that's
that
the
ball.
mentality you want. Get up there. Wolfley's going to throw strikes.
Yep,
You know that.
that's right.
So get up and get your licks in there and crawl back into this thing somehow.
There's Charlie Terrell high and outside from Wolfley on the first pitch. 1-0 with one down here in the bottom of the first. Cougars with a 5-0 lead. Wolfley's windup and delivery also outside on ball 2. Young team around the infield.
It is. But you know what? That's why he's scheduled. And Chris talked about that on the phone. He goes, that's why we scheduled Craig and Verona as our first 2 games, because he said, we know it's a good conference. There are good teams in those conference, and we like how our schedule plays out. And
3-0 pitch from Wolfley's down low, and a walk for Charlie Terrell. And there's 1 on with 1 out, and Colin Schutz, the center fielder, will bat.
Craig won't have as much power this year. Eric Hughes leads off the game in the home run. Mitchell Wolfley doesn't walk a lot of kids. He walks the second batter of the game. So we're in classic midseason form already.
1 down. Runner at first for Schutz. Wolfley out of the stretch. Here's the first pitch. That one floats up high. 1-0.
And again, I don't know what kind of speed Terrell has, but this is the one area now where Craig is really,
susceptible
with Campbell. Well, we don't know. I mean, you don't know what kind of catcher Schmaling is defensively, but they were so spoiled for 3 years with Jay Campbell that nobody dared to run on him, and it just changed the whole course of a game for a lot of teams' offenses, knowing that, look, we got to go one base at a time because we can't go anywhere on this Campbell kid. And now all of a sudden, a new catcher who doesn't have a lot of experience at the varsity level, and I got to believe some teams are going to try to throw on him.
Grounder to third. It's fair off the glove of a diving Keelan, and the runner will advance to third base. Throw comes in, and to second will go Colin Schutz. So there's 2 on and 1 out as Schutz puts one right down the line off of Keelan's glove.
Yeah, he couldn't have placed it any better. Right down the line over the third base bag, and it wasn't hit hard enough, hard enough for the left fielder, Kusmal, to get over there in time. And Schutz sneaks into second with a double, and the Redhawks are in business. Second and third, 1 out with their cleanup hitter up and more.
This is what you want with your power guy that Coach Agnew says, with a couple of men on in scoring position. 1 out.
And the best name on the day with Memphis Moore. Gotta love that.
And the opening pitch from Wolfley is down low and outside. Sounds like a country artist.
Memphis Moore.
He's going to be performing.
Well, I'm sure if you asked mom and dad, they'd tell you, there's a story behind
I'm sure.
the name. But I like it. I like Memphis.
Moore calls timeout and steps out as Wolfley backs off and now climbs back on to the pitching rubber. 1-0 against Moore. Second and third off of a double by Schutz. And here's the curveball, drops in for a strike. He's got a big hook on that.
Yeah, that was a good pitch there. And he's going to have to be able to throw that for strikes because, I don't care how hard you throw. Eventually guys catch up to it. And you got to be able to get your breaking stuff over and be able to throw it first or second pitch of a sequence and then the bat because otherwise people know what's coming.
1-1 pitch, and that's fouled back. High fastball in on the hands of Moore, and he tipped it back to the screen. 1-2, Wolfley ahead of Memphis Moore, the DH.
And I would guess we'll probably see, 3 Craig pitchers today would be my guess.
Okay.
Wolfley, maybe Overly, maybe Hughes, maybe Keelan.
They're going to get that game in?
Tomorrow looks okay, yeah.
Lake Geneva? Yep. Okay. 1-2 pitch from Wolfley, another curveball. That's hit to between the gap, and Hessling ranges over, can't get it. It's into right field. 1 run is in. Throw comes in. Herbst cuts it off, and Milton on the board with a hit to right field.
Yeah, and see, now there's a case where I don't know if you watched the end of the play there, but it's the fundamentals. It's the little things I talk about with new guys. Now, Hessling moved over and possibly had a play, but Herbst had already come up to take the backup throw, so he wouldn't have been at first anyway, so there wouldn't have been a play to make it first. And those are the little things that Coach Herbst is talking about. We've got to get good fundamentally before we do anything else.
Shoots to third. Moore is at first on the second hit, and 1 run in. Now for the Red Hawks, it's 5-1 with first and third and one out, and the batter will be Bailey Nickel, the catcher. First pitch from Wolfley, high. That brings Schmaling out of his crouch. 1-0 to the number 5 hitter.
Hi, Big Voice Guy here for Blackhawk Propane. Always looking for a new idea to let everybody know how much money they can save. So I had a great idea. Instead of St. Patrick's Day, how about St. Bob's Day? Here was Bob's reaction. Well, he just needs more time to think about it, I guess. Again, here's the jingle that I come up with. You can save a lot of green on St. Bob's Day. Don't be shy. Call him and say hi.
Propane for home, farm, and industry. Blackhawk Propane.
Josh and John back at Riverside. Apologies for the technical issue. Still haven't gotten over that last game at La Follette of the basketball season.
Oh, boy, that was something, huh?
Yes, it was. 3-0.
You'd think a Division I high school would have better internet service than that, but I guess not.
That's a good call. 3-0 pitch from Wolfley, and that one catches the outside corner, and it's now 3-1 to Bailey Nickel.
And again, if you're Wolfley, you just, the last thing you want to do is your team gives you 5 runs is let them right back into it.
And Wolfley steps off, throw back to first, and back in time is the runner Memphis Moore. So 3-1 now the count to Bailey Nickel. One out, first and third for the Red Hawks. Craig puts up a 5 spot in the top half. Milton comes right back and is threatening Moore. Here it is from Wolfley. That one popped up. It's going to get out of play. Back over the Cougar dugout. And he's run it full now on Nickel.
Bottom of the first. At this rate, Craig will just go directly into their doubleheader and play Badger right away following this game.
Yeah, we're a little bit of a snail's pace right now.
Hour an inning.
Yeah. 3-2 the count. And here it is. And there's a swing and a miss. Wolfley gets his first strikeout as Nickel is gone.
Yeah, it brought the gas there. Yep. That was the high heat, and Nickel couldn't lay off. And big out for Craig. First and third, 1 out now, and you'll see infield stays back, or 2 outs, and the infield will stay back and just try to get out of the inning with 1 run.
2 down, and the batter will be Ethan Hafner, the first baseman. Junior steps in, first pitch from Wolfley. Outside corner framed very nicely by Schmaling as he's set up on the left half of the plate, as Hafner is a lefty playing first base. 0-1 as Blomgren moves a little bit to his right.
They don't feel like Hafner can pull the ball at all, so Blomgren's kind of playing where you'd play against a right-handed hitter and very deep in the hole at short.
Next pitch, swing and a miss by Hafner. And it's quickly 0-2, Wolfley ahead of him.
I think I'd throw that same pitch again if I'm Wolfley. Had him way out ahead of that one.
Wolfley comes set out of the stretch. Here it is again, outside and high, taken for ball 1. 1-2, 2 down. 1 run is in on 2 hits for the Red Hawks.
Yeah, Wolfley heading to the Air Force Academy, and I believe he told me he has to be there 2 weeks after graduation. Or maybe if they were to get to the state tournament, it would be the following week.
My. Here it is. Swing and another miss, and Hafner is gone. And that is the 3rd out. So for the Red Hawks, 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, 2 men left. 1 complete. Cougars 5, Red Hawks 1. Top of the second coming up. Back after this from Blaines Farm and Fleet. To bat, and the leadoff hitter will be Clark Schmaling, the catcher.
Leading off for Craig in the top of the second inning.
It's 5-1
Clark Schmaling
in favor of the Cougars. Evan Jackson still on the mound, and he comes in and starts with a strike as Schmaling takes that one down the middle. It's 0-1 for Schmaling as he drew the first of 3 straight walks last inning for Craig. And here it is again. Oh, nice curveball that drops in. It's 0-2.
You forget that they go in between, the coaches exchange how many pitches they threw in between innings
right.
and that. I always thought if I was facing somebody really good and we were the home team, because the home team has the final say, you come in and say, oh, yeah, well, I got you down for 13. And I'd be like, well, I have 102. And since we're the home team, he's got to come out.
Right.
I'm sorry. He's got to come out of the game. We've got him at 102 pitches that last half inning.
Yeah, right. 0-2 as Schmeling fouls one back and stays alive. Here it is. And down low, 1-2 on Clark Schmeling. He's also got a run scored.
And he had a good year last year for the Cougars.
Yeah.
They kind of played him all over, and he hit well.
Evan Jackson out of the windup. And here it is. Low and outside, evens it at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Dan Blomgren and Micah Overly.
Not many water skiers on the river today. Thought we'd see more action,
I'm sure.
But I guess not.
2-2 pitch. Oh, taken for strike 3, and Schmeling frozen. And he goes down for out number 1 in the second. And Blomgren, who also walked and scored.
Now batting shortstop.
Jackson's last 3 outs have been K's.
Yep.
So he's, again, seems to have found a rhythm. And that opening blast by that Hughes kid didn't seem, maybe it's not bothering him as much as we thought.
1 down. Opening pitch to Blomgren is another curveball that's in there for a strike.
That's his best pitch right now. Yeah, he's got his breaking balls working. His fastball, he's not sure where it's going, but the breaking ball seems to be finding the strike zone with regularity.
0-1 pitch from Jackson. Blomgren swings out of his shoes and comes up empty, and it's 0-2.
He almost fell down. Dan's older brother, Jack, who's also – Dan headed to Michigan.
Yep.
Jack's there now starting at short.
He's getting some stuff done.
5-hit game
Played.
last week he had. A 5-hit game against somebody. I don't remember who it was. But, yeah, he was – last time I checked, he was hitting about 340. He starts every game and doing a nice job for the Wolverines.
0-2 high fastball is hit foul over the Milton dugout over first base side. As Blomgren back in, still 0-2 to the Cougar shortstop. Wind up and the pitch. Floater, and that one hit foul on a line drive past first base. And Blomgren still hanging in at 0-2. 1 out. Overly will be the batter next. Top of the second for the Cougars, the visiting team today. Wind up in the pitch from Jackson. That's a high changeup.
Guy was a blanket salesman. He could make a lot of money down here today.
Yeah, that's true. Quite a few down here.
Yeah.
We haven't fired up our space heater yet.
There's some winter coats being worn.
1-2 pitch coming up from Jackson. Here it is. That one down low and in the dirt. Skips away from Nickel. And evens it at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Craig with a 5-1 win. Cougars have Lake Geneva tomorrow.
The Badgers, who opened up with a 1-0 win in their opening game.
All right.
A lot of games played yesterday. It's good.
Yep.
Yeah, it's usually we're
You
backed up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Got to get some in when you can. 2-2 pitch from Jackson, and that was in, and I believe it hit him.
Hit him in the left arm, I believe.
All right, so that's 2 hit batters for Jackson as Blomgren is now aboard with a hit by pitch. Second time he's been on.
Yeah, we had some. I looked in today's paper, and Evansville won their opener. Edgerton won their opener. Elkhorn won their opener. Badger won their opener. So we've got some talent in the area this year. I don't think there's any question about it. Rock Valley's got some good teams. Edgerton's going to be tough. Evansville's going to be better. Beloit Turner's going to be good. And, of course, the Big Eight, the Cougars, with what Sun Prairie lost, I would got to believe the Cougars are a prohibitive favorite to win the Big Eight.
We can talk about who's new and what all the changes are in the sectional as we get going, because that will play out very big.
That's the end of the summer baseball has put a significant dent into the sectionals in these areas in Division I. There's no doubt about it.
1-0 the count to Micah Overly, who took outside in the opening offering from Jackson. Evan on the hill out of the stretch. Here it is, and that's over for a strike. 1-1 on Overly. No, now you've got Sun Prairie and Heartland Arrowhead.
Yeah.
And Oconomowoc.
Yeah, it's murderer's row, and you're not going to have the days of 11-1 sectional semifinal wins. You're going to have to beat 2 quality teams, to get to state.
1-1 the count to Overly, and the check on the runner, sliding in safely, is Blomgren.
But I understand it. I mean, it's the summer league. Just the numbers dwindled enough where it just wasn't. The WI just said we can't do this anymore.
1-1 the count, and here it is to Overly, way outside. He waves at it. Runner goes, and the throw down is snagged by Campion a little bit behind him, but Blomgren in with a stolen base.
Shocking. A stolen base for a Blomgren. There's a shock for you. But no, I mean, he runs well, a good base runner like his brothers were, and, he'll be the catalyst. I know they've got him third now, but again, we could see a change there. They may feel like if Hughes is producing enough, maybe we slide him down to that third or fourth spot and let Blomgren run wild on the leadoff spot.
1-2 pitch from Jackson. That swung on and hit off of his glove. Campion redirects, snags it, whips over to first, and throws it to Hafner. And the out is complete on Overly. Well, Blomgren moves to third base.
The old 1-4 to 3. Nice play by Campion, though. He didn't have a lot of time to set himself. He just kind of in one motion had to scoop it and get it over to first, and a big out there because now you're 1 out away from getting out of it. And, again, after a shaky start for Jackson, he's calmed down.
Yes, he has.
And his pitch much better. He's throwing strikes.
Here's the opening pitch. It's hit up along third, foul, snagged by Coach Herbst by Tresson Kussmaul, who has an RBI single, and he's also scored.
Yeah, not real good form there by Coach Herbst. Just a poor job bending over and making a play there. It wasn't that difficult, and he just continues to decline in that third base coaching box.
0-1 the count to Kussmaul. And here it is. That hit him. Third hit by pitch from Jackson. And he is aboard. Kussmaul, runners at first and third, 2 out for Ryan Herbst.
And Kussmaul may be going on the first pitch as well because
he has a few wheels. Just
he can motor. Yes, we saw that in football. He found a hole and a 5-yard gain turned into 25 or 30.
2 down. Craig with a 5-1 lead. Runners at first and third, with Herbst at the plate. And that one gets off of Bailey Nichols' glove, and there's going to be a play. And sliding in safely, I think Blomgren came up short.
I think he got the corner. I hope he's okay.
Oh, yeah, no, he did.
Okay, I was worried he might have got his ankle a little bit, and he looks like he might have.
Might have caught in a spike.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Right in the dirt, and then kind of did a front somersault kind of a deal.
It looked like me sliding into second sometime.
You don't slide.
No, I did.
Stop it. So Blomgren comes in on the pitch that's away from Nickel.
That's probably a wild pitch there, I would say, Mr. Murphy, yes.
And Kussmaul down to second base. And Herbst now a 1-0 count with a runner at second, takes one high, 2-0.
And a lot of times it's little things like that. It's just, you don't want to say laziness or anything like that, but it's just making a play and getting it out of a jam. And those 1 or 2 runs you give up can add up. And all of a sudden, instead of 5-1, it's 8 or 9-1. And that's what you got to avoid if you're Milton.
6-1 here. Herbst takes one up high, 3-0 now to the Cougar first baseman,
who might have the whitest shoes I've ever seen. Goodness. They look like they're spray painted.
No hits in the inning, but 1 run in, and here it is to Herbst, outside corner, taken for strike 1, 3-1. 6-1 Janesville Craig over Milton here in the top of the second. And a 3-1 count to Ryan Herbst, who had an RBI and then reached on an error. And the throw down to third and sliding in. And Kussmaul is out trying to take third on a high pitch from Evan Jackson. So 1 run, no hits, and no errors. Nobody left. We go to the bottom of the second. Craig 6, Milton 1 for the Milton Redhawks this inning. Bottom of the order, 7, 8, 9, and it starts with Caleb Dahmen. Opening pitch from Wolfley is hit in the air, left side, chasing and giving way to a foul ball was Keelan, and also Blomgren came over from shortstop.
They did. Just out of reach.
Yep. Dahman, the senior left fielder, one of 3 seniors for the Milton starting lineup today for Coach Chris Agnew.
And those are the 3 guys that he was very high on talking on the phone about. They've been with me. We've been building toward the season, and I think, regardless of what happens today with Milton, obviously for both teams, but certainly for Milton, even a loss today is, not going to define what could be a good year for the Red Hawks.
Nice curve from Wolfley, drops in, taken for a strike. And here it is, 0-2. High fastball, taken for ball 1. It's 1-2 on Dahman, the left fielder. Wolfley in there ready to work. He's a quick worker. And the 1-2 pitch down right through 5-hole on Clark Schmaling, back to the fence. 2-2. Bottom of the second here at Riverside, we have a playable day for baseball.
Yeah, I don't think it's
need.
as nice as we thought it was going to be when
right.
when you looked at the forecast yesterday and this morning that it was supposed to be sunny and considerably warmer, and I don't think we've got either right now.
Just looking to play. 2-2 pitch. Here it is. Right there, strike 3 called, and Dahman goes down looking for out number 1. That's Wolfley's third strikeout, and that's 3 punch-outs in a row going back to last
inning.
inning.
Kind of like Jackson, found his rhythm after the first couple of batters and gave up back-to-back hits to Schutz and Moore, but then, now he's settled down. And
there's the opening pitch. A little bit high for Fletcher Terrell, the junior right fielder. A lefty in the box. 1-0 pitch from Wolfley. Swung on and hit back to the screen. 1-1 on Terrell.
Close to hitting the Craig camera, which I'm not sure if that's insured or not. I don't know.
All I'm glad is that they moved it from up here in the press box.
Yes, I know.
Down to behind the catcher. There's a swing and a miss from Terrell, and it's 1-2 now to the right fielder for Milton. He steps back in. Wolfley shakes off a couple from Schmaling. Now has what he wants, and here he comes. And that one hit back to the net as Terrell stays alive at 1-2.
And the thing, we've seen it certainly in the last 3-4 years with the good Craig teams, even Parker when they went to state that year. If you're going to have success, you've got to get production from up and down the lineup, and especially those 7, 8, and 9 guys. And Craig's had so much good success with their bottom of the order in recent years, and I think if you look at Milton,
hit Fletcher Terrell squarely in the back, so a hit by pitch and a runner down to first for Milton, and the bottom of the order, Jack Campion, the freshman second baseman, will be the batter.
And like I say, if you look at Milton, they've got to have the same thing. If they hope to contend in the Badger South and make some noise, you can't rely on just those top 4 or 5 batters. You've got to get production up and down, and you kind of see how that plays out. But again, some young kids for the Red Hawks, but kids that have played a lot of baseball coming in. So it's not like they picked up a glove for the first time.
That one hit off the end of the bat, right by on a bad bounce. Herbst at first. It's into right field. Terrell will dig for third, and he will make it. And Campion is aboard at first as Terrell goes all the way to third.
Took a funky hop.
Yeah,
I'm not sure Herbst played that correctly. I thought he would have maybe slid in front of the ball and just knocked it down. But took a bad hop, so a base hit. And, Campion first at bat, the high school level is a base hit. And Red Hawks first and third with 1 out. And back to the top of the order with Knutson, who, drilled the first pitch he saw from Wolfley.
He hit it right to Hessling on a line drive. So first and third for the Red Hawks. Back to the top of the order, as you mentioned, in Knutson. His swings at the first one. It's up the middle. Easy double play ball right through Wolfley, but standing on second waiting for it is Blomgren. Throws it over to Herbst, and the unassisted double play, 6-3, and the Red Hawks are gone. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left. We're through 2. Top of the third coming up. Craig 6, Milton 1 here at Veterans Field.
And a routine 6-6-3 double play, so...
Yeah, that was a nice unassisted DP. Right to Blomgren. He ranged nicely left and didn't have more than a step to go on second base. Hessling, the batter, had a fielder's choice in the first inning takes strike one from Hunter Pernot.
So, again, kind of I would say a typical opening day for Jackson. 2 innings pitched, 2 hits, 6 runs, 5 were earned, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, a couple of hit batters. But, you and I both talked about as the game went on, or as he pitched a little bit longer, he seemed to settle into a little bit more of a groove. And that's what you want to see if you're Chris Agnew.
Sure.
I mean, again, you can't put all your eggs in one basket. I mean, this is the first game of a 24-game schedule. And, you want to win, but you don't want to get too carried away with stats or anything like that.
Nice play by the first baseman, Hafner, who tried to dive for it, but Campion ranges over as that was hit by Hessling in the hole on the right side, and Campion ranges to his left. Hafner made a dive at it, couldn't come up with it, and running over to cover is Pernot, and Campion hits him in stride and beats Hessling to the bag by a step.
Yeah,
so Hessling out at first.
Campion's got a good glove, obviously. Just a good athlete. We saw that in basketball.
There's a hit to first for Gavin Keelan on the first pitch, and that's gloved by Hafner, and there's quickly 2 up and 2 down. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, no, this Campion, just a good athlete, basketball, got all conference honors in the Badger South as a freshman. You can tell he's got baseball skills. I know football-wise, he didn't play this past year on the freshman team, but they said, he would have been probably their best player, running back or wherever he might have played. So just a good athlete, and it obviously carries over into the baseball field as well.
Tegan Christensen, the batter, who was hit on the helmet, I believe, after the first or second pitch in his opening at bat, and he takes a strike from Pernot. Here's the second offering inside, and it evens it at a ball and a strike. 2 up and 2 down here for the Cougars, quickly in the top of the third.
And this is another thing, Vic likes to talk about is, good teams don't let up.
There's a smash third base, just foul by about a foot on a hard hit ball by Christensen. He popped his hips open and tore that one down the line.
You get up, 5-0 in the first inning. You got to keep your foot on the gas.
Yep.
You can't, just kind of coast from there because in this day and age, teams are usually good enough to come back on you, and all it takes is one big inning, and they're right back in it.
Here's the 1-2, and up high and tight on Christensen.
I don't know if Christensen's got a bullseye on his helmet or what, but they're kind of every pitch that's not in the strike zone's near his head.
6-1 Cougars. 2-2 pitch from Pernot. Here it is. High for ball 3, and it's full now on Tegan Christensen, the senior right fielder.
And kind of for Craig, Christensen, they hope, was like having a second leadoff hitter. He's certainly quick. And
that one in on the hands, popped up left field side and out of play.
If they can get him on base, they'll put him in motion. And, again, they did that for those 2 years with Dan Blomgren or Jack Blomgren, one of the two at the top of the order and the other one at the bottom. And,
yep.
You almost have 2 leadoff hitters, and that causes all kinds of problems for opponents.
Another 3-2. That's fisted left field side. Dahman running in, and he'll get it, making the run towards the foul line. So 3 up and 3 down as Dahman tracks down that one from Christensen. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. Bottom of the third coming up. Craig still with a 6-1 lead on the Red Hawks. Hitters for the Red Hawks, Charlie Terrell, the shortstop, will lead it off.
And I think with, I forget that Craig's got a game tomorrow. And, again, the weather looks good, so they should get that in. So that may allow Wolfley to go an inning or 2 longer than we would expected because, obviously, with a game tomorrow, you're going to have more arms going. So
cranks one on the first offering, and it winds up outside for a ball. 1-0 to Charlie Terrell. Overthrows that one again, same spot, 2-0. Terrell had a walk and scored the Red Hawks' only run back in the first. Here's the pitch, and it's hammered to right center, and that's going to get by Tegan Christensen, and that's going to be tracked down and into second with a leadoff double will be Charlie Terrell. Well-hit ball into the gap.
Yeah, he runs well, so that was a good piece of hitting there. Hit it right in the gap, and Christensen made a nice play to track it down, but had no chance of getting the fleet-footed Terrell there.
Fourth hit for the Red Hawks, and a leadoff runner aboard, now in scoring position. And Colin Schutz will be the batter, the center fielder, who also doubled in the first in his first at-bat.
Yep, hit the one perfectly right over the third baseline.
Yep. And see if Keelan hugs that line for Schutz.
We'll see what happens the second time through the lineup. If Wolfley goes to more off-speed stuff here.
There's the first offering, floats outside, and Schutz swings at it and hits it back to the net, first base side. So 0-1, Wolfley ahead, as Dan Blomgren calling some infield signs with his pitcher. A 0-1 pitch coming up, and here it is. Curveball, that's hit back up the middle, right into center field. And coming up with it is Hughes. He's going to make a throw to the plate, and they're going to get him at the plate. Thrown out on a bullet by Hughes to Schmaling, and they gun down Charlie Terrell trying to score. Meanwhile, into second is Schutz.
Took a perfect throw and to get him, and guess what?
They
that
got
was a
him.
perfect throw. Nice play by Schmaling there to not block the plate, which they don't allow anymore, and just caught the ball and was far enough in front of home plate where all he had to do was reach down and touch Terrell. And again, Terrell runs well, and you take a chance there. A lot of times first and third, nobody out. I like that situation, but Chris Agnew felt like Terrell could get home, and he almost did.
So they put a runner at second again, and now there's one out, as the batter will be Memphis Moore, the DH, who had a single in the first. So Schutz 2 for 2 today.
Yeah, Milton's swinging the bats well.
Yep.
I mean, they're getting their cuts in there. Again, it's going to come down, I think, for the Red Hawks is, what's going to happen with those 6, 7, 8, and 9 batters.
Here's the pitch. That's hit off the hands to short. Backhanded by Blomgren. Long throw. Herbst gets the stretch, and Moore is retired on a 6-3 put out for the second out in the inning, and now it's the catcher, Bailey Nickel, who struck out in the first. 2 down, runner at second for the Red Hawks. Craig still with a 6-1 lead here in the bottom half of the third. Opening pitch from Wolfley. Ooh, right on the outside corner for strike one, as Nickel took that one.
That might have been, velocity-wise, that might have been his
hardest pitch.
Yeah, that might be the hardest thrown pitch he's had today.
If you want to take a break and run the radar gun downstairs and report back to us.
I'm sure it's on the Craig camera back there, so, it might have everything.
0-1 pitch, curveball.
Might have DoorDash where you can order some food for delivery if you want,
sure.
whatever else you need.
Sure. Does it have gas, buddy?
That might have gas, buddy. I don't know.
See if we can
go
to fill up nicely. All right. 1-1 as the curveball missed upstairs. And that one's upstairs. 2-1 on Bailey Nickel.
And Bailey was a kid that Chris on the phone really high on Bailey. Said he's worked hard, good leader on this team, and he's expecting a big season from Bailey.
Wolfley comes set out of the stretch, checks the runner, and comes to the plate. That's a swing and a miss for strike 2. And it's 2-2 now on Bailey Nickel. 2 down here in the bottom of the third here at Riverside. Oh, we got a light out. Left center field pole.
Well, I'm sure Bob will climb up there and get that in between innings.
2-2 pitch. Here it is. Right back up the middle. Hard ground ball. And they're going to send the runner again. Hughes is going to come to the plate. Now they hold him, and that was another good fire. Now down to second, and they're going to get him at second on the throw back from Schmaling. And thrown out trying to advance is Bailey Nickel, and that will end the inning. Yeah. So 3 hits, no runs, and 1 man left for the Red Hawks as they get 2 runners thrown out trying to advance.
Yeah, Nickel got caught in no man's land. He thought the throw was coming home because he thought that Schutz was going to try and score, and they held him up at third. So really not much he could do there other than you just got to do a better job of knowing the situation and knowing where the guy ahead of you is base-wise.
No runs, 3 hits, no errors, and 1 man left for the Red Hawks as we go to the top of the fourth. Craig still with a 6-1 lead.
Don't give up any runs.
Well, he's already used up all his warm-up pitches. They were going to throw coming down, but the umpire said no. You used up your allotment. So infielders retreat to their positions, and Hughes will step in, 1 for 2 today with a homer and a strikeout. Swings at the first ball, foul third base side as Knudsen tracks it down, backhand. And it's 0-1 to Hughes.
Hughes, again, coming off a great year in football. I mean, I was impressed with him in that Cougar secondary. I think he also got some all-conference honors, and a guy that really had a good year for Ben McCormick. Or not Ben McCormick, Bunderson, Adam Bunderson.
Adam Bunderson. That one's a ball up high taken by the center fielder, Hughes, and it evens the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Wind up in the pitch from Pernot. Swung on and missed by Hughes, and it's 1-2.
And head was out in left field there. I mean, just that might be the downfall of hitting a home run to start the year, is that, you're looking for the vines every time you go up there, and you just got to go up and make contact. I mean, a leadoff hitter, your job is to find a way to get on base.
1-2 pitch. That one floats up high from Pernot, and it's even now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Big 8 schedule will start next week. Janesville Craig will take on Beloit Memorial in a home and away. And here it is. That one hit off the end of the bat. Shallow center. Running in on it is Schutz. He can't get it. And a little floating single out to center for Eric Hughes to lead off the 4th inning.
That's what you want from your leadoff hitter. Find a way to get on. He runs well, and now is when you put pressure on a defense, and that's what you want.
So Schmeling is up. He has walked and struck out. He's also scored a run. The Big 8 again going with their home and away Tuesday-Thursday schedule that was changed last year. Squares to bunt, takes it back, and the throw down, and in there with a stolen base is Hughes.
Yeah, and that was on that. Nothing Nickel could have done. That was on Pernot. You got to hold him on better than that. He had a pretty big lead, and at least throw over there once and let him know what you're thinking about him, because Hughes took off. And
second stolen base
for the Cougars, yes. Blomgren had one, yep.
So second stolen base from Craig, as they have a habit of running all over teams. Squares to bunt again, takes back, does Schmeling, and it's a ball down low, 2-0. As now Hughes is at second. So runner in scoring position with nobody out. Cougars with 6 runs on 3 hits so far, although the Milton leads the hit column. Here's the pitch. Takes back, and that one floats upstairs on Schmeling. 3-0. He's squared each time, and I would imagine he's taking this one all the way.
And again, that's what happens sometimes with a guy that, a pitcher that doesn't have a lot of experience, is you get guys on base, and, that's all you think about is.
And that one hit him. So Schmeling gets hit by a pitch. And that is the 3rd batter to get hit by the Milton staff today. And now runners at first and second with nobody out. And Dan Blomgren to the plate. He's been hit. He has also walked, and he scored twice and stole a base. So far, productive day on the base path for Blomgren.
And I know, just looking at Pernot the last couple of pitches, really not pausing when he completes his windup. And, it's certainly the umpire has the right to at least tell him, hey, look, make sure you pause, or, simply call the balk, and lesson learned there. But he's got to pause a little bit longer than he is right now. And again, that's because of you start worrying about guys in the base pass and not worried about the batter at the plate.
6-1 lead for Craig as Blomgren steps in. And the opening pitch from Pernot, that was lucky that didn't hit him. Blomgren does the little L body shape to let that one go by way inside. And 1-0.
That would have hit me, Josh.
There's no way I could have gotten out of the way. There's a swing and a hit to center, but on it, and making the catch is Schutz. Throw coming in to the shortstop, and advancing the runner from second to third goes Hughes, but Blomgren with out number 1 on a fly to Schutz in center.
And, it was 6-1 lead, guys on first and second. He got the runner over. He's probably disappointed, but as a coach, I'm okay with that. You moved the runner over, and now you got your cleanup hitter up.
Lefty Micah Overly with first and third.
Because I would venture to say in a close game, Blomgren's probably bunting in that situation.
As Overlay lays off the first one on an outside pitch. He has walked and scored. He's also grounded out to second base. 1-0 pitch. Here it is. Swing and a hit to left. On it is Dahmen. There's going to be a throw home. Here it is. They're not going to get him. cut off by the third baseman, and now a throw into right field as Schmeling will take second, and now he'll take third on the overthrow on an error. And Craig boosts its lead to 7-1 as Hughes tags up and scores, and Schmeling goes all the way to third base from first.
Yep, and I did not see, I believe it was the first baseman that took the throw, so if that's the case, he gets the error thrown back to second because that skipped into right field. Either way, it's an error and RBI for Overly, and Craig's boosted their lead to 7-1.
So a fly out to left for the second out. So Schmeling's at third. Kussmaul now takes a ball to start things off from Pernot with 2 down. 7-1 Craig now in the top of the third.
E5. So the third baseman made the throw back to second and just trying to make a play. And like I say, it scooted away. So Milton's second error of the day.
Yep.
And
there's one hit back to the screen, and it's even at a ball and a strike for Kussmaul. So Craig so far with a run and a hit in the inning. 1-1 pitch. Kussmaul smacks it to short. Bouncer, backhanded, sliding by Charlie Terrell. Throw over to first, and Hafner can't get it. And in there with a run scoring is Kussmaul.
That's an E3 there. So
second error of the inning for Milton.
Yep.
As Kussmaul is aboard.
No RBI.
Nope, Schmeling comes in to score.
Nice play there by Terrell, and
very
just,
good.
And no offense, but it's a ball that's got to be caught.
Yep.
You got to catch that.
Even if you got to get,
you got to come off the bag.
off
so
the bag
be it.
and
But
try for a swipe tag at least.
A ball that you got to catch.
So it's 8-1 Cougars, and now in there is Ryan Herbst, and he takes a strike in the outside corner. Herbst with an RBI.
I'll tell you right now, if Campion and Terrell are your middle infield for Milton, they're going to be okay. Those kids both with pretty good gloves so far.
0-1 pitch, here it comes. Swing and a pop-up. It's on the infield. Campion calls for it. Back on the dirt near the grass and makes the catch in the wind as Herbst gets the final out for Janesville Craig. So for the Cougars, they put up 2 runs on just 1 hit and 2 errors, and 1 man left on base. Bottom of the 4th inning here at Riverside, and it's 8-1 Janesville Craig over Milton as Mitchell Wolfley out for his 4th inning of work, and got to imagine that would be the last as the Cougar bullpen
Again, I would
busy.
think so, but with a game tomorrow against Badger, which,
bullpen's
they're
busy.
non-conference games, and you're just trying to get them some innings because you just know, with Mother Nature, you just don't know when your next chance to pitch could be. And, I think I looked long range next week. The latter part of next week looks like showers, expected every day, and you just don't know.
Ethan Hafner will lead it off. Swings and misses at the first offering and then takes a ball high and outside. 1-1.
As you drive down here today, coming through the park, that water's up there, and
yeah, it is.
If it gets any higher.
That one's lifted into left field in the gap on the run. Can't get it, does Kussmaul. And with a leadoff double, Hafner delivers. Another one right in the gap that the Cougars have to race back to get. And just again, like last inning, a leadoff double.
That's 7 hits I've got for Milton. So, they're swinging the bats. They run themselves out of a couple of innings, and, that's...
Left fielder, Caleb.
That's baseball.
Caleb Dahman now with a strikeout in the second. He steps in to face Wolfley. Well, again, you sense at the top of the broadcast, Wolfley throws strikes. If you know you're going to be looking at something, jump on it. And the pitch high for ball 1. And Milton with 7 hits in the ball game.
Yeah, Milton's again. They've just trying to get things done and making things happen, and it's just coming up short because the Cougars have played well defensively.
There's a foul back to the screen. 1-1 to Dahman, the left fielder. Fletcher Terrell and Jack Campion are due up in the 8 and 9 spots. Wolfley out for his 4th inning of work. Again, the Cougar bullpen is busy. Wolfley looks in, comes set. The 1-1 turns and looks. Nobody there to cover Hafner at second.
And that's a design play, and obviously somebody got the wrong signal there because, Blomgren's giving them again, and I think obviously Wolfley missed that sign, whatever it was, or one of the infielders missed it because he turned to throw and nobody was there.
Wolfley comes set again. Looks at second, now comes to the plate. There's a swing and another foul back to the screen. 1-2 on Caleb Dahman, the left fielder. Again, Cougars with Beloit Memorial next week. Vikings have a busy week. They have Big 8 conference opponents as well, and then they have a doubleheader against River Valley next Saturday.
Yeah, they're expected to play. They're hoping to play Orfordville Parkview on Saturday.
But that's looking pretty bad.
And
curveball drops down low, 2-2 now on Dahman.
I think the low on Saturday's 23 and the high was 38, so not likely to play even if it doesn't rain or snow. But, you know, you talk about Parker and you just hope that, Kerry, I think he knew that they were going to be short of players this year. And now with a couple of injuries and a couple of suspensions, the Vikings are going to be very short-handed to start the year. And for this year, I think if you're a Parker person, it's not going to be about wins and losses. It's just about building toward the
progress,
future because there are some good kids coming up.
2-2 pitch sails wide, and it's 3-2 now to Dahman. Full count. Here comes Wolfley to the plate. That's fouled back to the net. Still full on Caleb Dahman.
Hanging tough, Mr. Dahman is hanging tough.
They are swinging it here for the Redhawks. Opening game of the season for both teams, moved from Milton here to Riverside. Diamond looks pretty good.
That would have been a little nippy on Saturday for you and I because the couple times we've been there.
Oh, there's a strike 3 called on the outside corner, and Dahman goes down for the second time looking for out number 1, and now here's Fletcher Terrell.
We didn't have the luxury of a booth like we have here. I think we'd have been a little cold on Saturday just sitting at a picnic table.
Yep. We got lucky that 2 years ago when it was 70.
And then that one year when the Badgers were in the Final Four, it was I think it was about 70 degrees,
So here's Fletcher Terrell. He was hit by a pitch and advanced all the way to third.
Yeah, in talking to coaches and kind of doing an area preview that'll run tomorrow in the Gazette, the consensus is I think coaches were willing to give the same team in the same week a try, but I just don't think it's taken off like they'd hoped.
No.
For Jefferson and Edgerton, two of the favorites in the Rock Valley, they play Thursday and Friday. And
it's early in the season.
Mike Gregory said, look, neither one of us are going to be the same team that we're going to, later in the year that we are now. And it's too bad. Parker and Craig will play, a couple of games in 2 weeks.
Wolfley gets one off the end of the bat from Fletcher Terrell, and he runs over to Ryan Herbst and underhands it on the 1-3 putout. So there's 2 down as Hafner advances to third, and now Jack Campion, the second baseman, will be the batter. He singled in the second.
And what bothers me about Parker and Craig playing in 2 weeks is that both games are scheduled for 7 o'clock with the JVs playing beforehand.
In late April.
Early April. And, you and I know that the weather, it's not going to be warm, that's for sure. And I'm not saying move it back to a 5 o'clock start because I understand you want to get the younger kids a chance to get some exposure as well, but
swing and a miss.
It can make it difficult.
Yep. Swing and a miss from Campion. He's behind 0-2 to Wolfley with 2 down. Runner at third is Hafner here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 0-2 pitch. Swung on off the end of the bat and fouled out of play.
So looking at the 10-day forecast, Craig and Parker play on the 9th of April down here at 7 o'clock. High of 58, low of 44 with showers possible.
40% chance.
Nothing great. And, it's too bad because, it's the last couple of years they've been some fun games.
Right.
And you'd like to see them played under, nicer conditions. But that's what the schedule says, so that's when they'll play.
0-2 still on Campion. Wolfley comes set, and here's the pitch. Curveball, swing and a miss. Campion goes down, and after a leadoff double, Wolfley retires them in order. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. 4 in the books here at Riverside. Craig 8, Milton 1. We'll return after this from Teachers Credit Union and Fagan Automotive on WCLO James.
Okay.
And we
got a change.
still have Hunter Pernod on the mound.
Kai Kerl, Kerl, is now into right field for the Red Hawks, a junior.
Okay, Kai Curl.
Kai Kerl.
He's in left?
He is in right field.
Right field.
Right field, according to Mr. Murphy's
right.
Hawkeyes.
So Fletcher Terrell is out, and the first pitch is hit to second. Campion comes up with it, and over to first, and Hafner has it, and Jacob Hessling is retired. So one up and one down quickly.
Right field, number 6, Kai Curl.
Forward 3 on the putout, and now Gavin Keelan, who is 0 for 2 today. He has a strikeout and a hit to first that was unassisted. Opening pitch by Pernot, swung on and popped up. It's a mile in the air. Coming in is Schutz. He's got a beat on it and makes the catch. And there's 2 up and 2 down here in the top of the 5th.
2 pitches, 2 outs.
And now the batter will be Tegan Christensen. The senior has been hit by a pitch and popped out to left. Opening pitch from Pernot. That's taken for a strike.
And you talked about, I think that's probably it for Mr. Wolfley, and
I would guess
we'll see somebody else in the bottom of the inning for Craig, but not a bad outing.
Nope.
Gave up some hits, but again, we don't know. I mean, he might be working on certain things and trying to figure out what works best for him, kind of like a spring training game.
And that one high on Tegan.
Tegan he's got a
2 and
beacon
1.
on his head,
Yes,
I
he
think.
Does. Murphy, got the lineup card over there anywhere? I don't want to flummox you. 2-1 pitch.
Excellent use of that word right
Thank
there.
you. There is a ball taken down low, and Christensen works it to 3-1. All right, well, we have a gentleman with a number that is
Not listed?
no.
Uh-oh. Well,
Here's the pitch, 3-1 on Christensen, and it's inside for a ball.
ball 4.
And now back to the top of the order. Hughes normally wears number 6. It's still him, isn't it? Do you have to change jerseys? All right, wear number 8. I think they'd take out their first hitter.
Unless he just hung up the spikes and said, I'm out of here. 2 for 3, a home run, 2 runs scored. I've had enough, and I think we just had our first balk of the season as Hunter started to go home and then decided I'm going to go over to first, and that is not allowed at any level.
So Christensen goes to second.
Possibly in T-ball, but I don't know for sure. But certainly at this level, you got to either throw home or throw to first.
Balk on Pernot, and the first official offering is outside for a ball to Hughes, who is 2 for 3 today, a single, a home run, 2 runs scored, and a stolen base.
Productive. That's
Not
what you want.
bad.
Production from the top of your order.
1-0 coming from Pernot. A little bit upstairs, 2-0. Well, we're scheduled to carry Beloit and Craig next week, Thursday.
Okay.
And then possibly a doubleheader with Parker and River Valley on Saturday.
River Valley.
That one inside on Hughes. 3-0 from Pernot.
I know Parker at one time was trying to lock down a couple of non-conference games. They just hadn't had it filled out yet.
They had a late addition with Orfordville Parkfield.
Orfordville was a good one. That's Orfordville. TJ Stasi's got a pretty good team over there this year. Some good seniors, and they will be in the hunt in the Trailway South.
3-0 pitch is in there for a strike.
Along with Mr. Tom Davies' team at Palmyra Eagle and Johnson Creek, which is state-ranked right now.
And there's a walk issued to Hughes. So first and second now, and Coach Agnew is coming to the mound.
Yeah, Pernot was going pretty well, and now back-to-back walks. So, again, kid's tired. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's your first outing, and I don't see anybody in the bullpen. He may just go out there to settle him down a bit.
So Hughes to first. Christensen already at second. 2 men on, 2 out for Clark Schmaling, the catcher.
Craig's got 9 guys huddled up for coffee and donuts, figuring out what to do, and it's just,
You're a big fan of the huddle.
It's first and second, 2 outs. I mean, what are you going to tell guys? Run on a pass ball? I mean, what are you telling them that they shouldn't already know?
I'm sure in your post-game
I will find out from Coach Herbst.
I know you're going to get to the bottom of it.
I will. I'll find out. I'll say, look, what were you telling them that they shouldn't already know?
Omelets at the Citrus. Runner goes to third. Throw down is high and foot on the bag. Luckily for the runner, and running down to second is Hughes. So Christensen
gets a stolen base.
Yep.
Hughes does not because he went with the throw, so he just advances on a fielder's
So
choice.
second and third now. Pitch was a ball to Schmaling, and the throw down by Nickel is a little bit high, and Knutson had trouble getting that down, and Christensen almost slid off the bag past it, but hung his toe on there.
So I think Vic went over with that meeting and said, look,
you guys run.
You got to run really fast to third base and make it, because I don't want to give you a sign because they might pick up on our signs.
That was the official pep
talk.
And
then Hughes, you just stay behind, and then when the throw's made, just go to second.
2-0 pitch to Schmaling is in the dirt, blocked by Nickel, and Christensen hustles back to third.
Yeah, nice play there by Nickel.
3-0 now on Clark Schmaling. A walk, a hit by pitch, and a strikeout for the Cougar catcher in the 2 spot. 2 down, runners in scoring position at second and third. 3-0 pitch, inside for a ball. Ooh,
just
that
missed,
was
but
close.
3 straight walks for.
Yep. And now down to first is Schmaling. Bases are loaded for Micah Overlay, the DH.
The wheels have suddenly fallen off for Mr. Pernot.
Overlay today has reached, or I should say, flown out to left, hit to second, and also walked and scored. Here's the opening pitch. That's on the outside corner for a strike. 0-1, 2 down, top of the 5th here at Riverside. And the windup in the pitch from Pernot, hammered to left. It's in the gap. Shoots giving chase.
That's gone.
That one is out of here. And a grand slam home run. 3-run homer, I'm sorry. No, they were loaded. Grand slam homer.
Well, clearly I'm loaded because I thought it was 3 runs.
And that was Dan Blumgren, not Overlay. My fault. So a grand slam for Dan Blumgren makes it 12-1. 2 homers in the game. And Craig now with an 11-run lead here in the top of the 5th.
Hughes's was hit well. That was a no-doubter.
That was crushed.
That was crushed.
So Blomgren with a homer. His first hit today.
And again, I just want to reiterate my point that Craig will not have the pop this year that they've had in other years. It's just my feeling on the season is that
now here's Overlay. He swings and
Craig
misses.
won't hit like the bombs like they have in the past. Oh, that's right. They have 2 in the first game.
That was
hit well.
Yes, it was. So here's Overlay, and he takes a strike. 0-2 quickly to Micah. So Blomgren with his first hit of the season, and it is a grand slam.
That ought to get you something, shouldn't it?
I would think so.
There's
a hit into the hole. It's short, backhanded by Charlie Terrell. Long throw. It pulls Hafner off the bag. Good play all around from both sides, but Overlay hustling down to first makes it on an infield single.
Right-handed hitter, he might have a chance there, but Overly batting left-handed, just too quick getting down the line.
Boy, but how about Craig? First 2 outs, works a walk, 3 straight walks, and then a grand slam.
Well, what's the oldest saying in baseball? Walks will kill you every time. And in this case, they did, because Pernot was sailing along. I mean, you got 2 quick outs on, what'd we say, 2 pitches?
Yes,
and then
to Hessling and Keelan.
3 walks, a grand slam, and another hit, and all of a sudden, Milton's 3 outs away from getting beat by the 10-run rule.
Here's the offering from Pernot. That one hit into right. That's toward the line for Kusmal, and that is down and a hit. And rounding third and coming into play at the plate, throw to Bailey, and he is out.
Nice throw. Nice play all around there.
As Overley is thrown out at the plate on a hit by Kusmal.
Yep, Curl made a nice throw from right to the cutoff, and Nickel was in perfect spot to make the tag. But again, Vic is playing aggressive, and Good inning for the Cougars.
Yeah, it was. They score 4 on 3 hits, no errors, and 1 man left. Bottom of the 5th coming up. It's Craig 10, Milton 1. Josh Goldberg and John Barry, bottom of the 5th here at Riverside, and off the grand slam from Dan Blomgren, a 12-1 Cougar lead, and into hopefully slam the door for the Cougars is Mike Overly replacing Mitchell Wolfley. Colin Hageman also at second, replacing Jacob Hessling.
You know, and Wolfley, you know, again, kind of an up-and-down outing. Melton swung the bats pretty well with 7 hits, but in line for the win, 4 innings, 7 hits, a run, it was earned, 1 walk and 5 strikeouts. And again, you'll take some positives and certainly some things to work on as well. I think location, probably the number one thing for Mitchell as he goes forward is just, you know, especially when you get in a certain count, you've got to have the advantage and not the hitter, and you know, just made some bad pitches.
So Keegan Knutson, the freshman leadoff hitter, top of the order, will kick things off here in the bottom of the 5th. First pitch from Overly. Nice bender over there for a strike. Very nice.
And this is kind of coming into the season. This is what, you know, I think Vic Herbst thought would be his rotation. His 1 and 2 would be Wolfley and Overly, and
there's
we'll
the
see.
second one that drops in for a strike. Quickly 0-2 to Knutson, who hit a liner to second and hit into a double play.
Again, he's also high on Hughes, and he thinks the freshman Keelan's going to help as well. So
0-2 Overlay. And here's the offering to Knutson. Oh, and he punches him out. As Knutson took that one, 3 pitches, 3 strikes, and caught looking is Knutson. 1 up and 1 down for Charlie Terrell.
Yeah, that's good at bat there for Overly as far as throwing there, because 2 benders and then, you know, didn't even try to make him chase, just went after him with a hard heater, and Knutson was stuck.
First pitch in tight to Terrell. He has a walk and scored and had a double but was thrown out at home.
Connor Clark now into left field for Craig.
He'll replace Tresson Kussmal. Second offering is down low from Overlay.
Or right field, I'm sorry. He's in
right
right
field?
field.
Okay,
Yep,
so he's replacing Tegan Christensen.
Yep.
So Kussmal still out there in left.
Tegan's just happy to get his helmet off after getting thrown at 9 times.
2-0 pitch from Overlay. Outside corner for a strike. 2-1. 1 down. Here in the bottom of the 5th, Milton needs 2 to keep playing.
Don't recognize either umpire, but I thought they've done a nice job today, and it's certainly an area that continues to be
hot button.
A problem, as you know, they're just not finding enough of them. But if the majority umpires do the kind of job these 2 have done today, then we're going to be okay.
For sure. 3-1 from Overlay, and that one is on the outside corner for a strike. Check swing by Terrell, but he held off. But it's full now to the Milton shortstop. 3-2 pitch coming up, and here it is. Swung on and popped up. First base side,
That's
foul
gonna get out of
territory.
here.
Everybody giving chase. Clark, Herbst, and Hageman. Infield and outfield.
I think the Red Hawks, I believe their next game is Verona. I think that's how they normally go. Is
I do come prepared. Not
they
often.
got Verona and Craig are usually their first 2 games of the season.
All right. Oh, I didn't print up. Jeez. Nope, I don't. Had the results from last year.
But I think Chris told me on the phone that
a couple of Big 8 opponents.
Big 8
start
right away. Yep.
3-2 pitch again from Overlay, and here it is. It's to third. Bouncer. Keelan has it. Throw over to first. Dug out and by Herbst over to the fence, and the runner will stay as Ryan can't pick that one on a low throw from Keelan.
Yeah, E5. Nice play on a tough hop, but I think he kind of steered it over there a little bit instead of just letting it go. And bad hop. Herbst couldn't control it, and the Red Hawks
Craig's first
with a base
error.
runner. First error of the game for the Cougars. So, again, when Vic talks afterward, if it stays like this, he'll say, I thought we were pretty good defensively, and they have been.
Colin Schutz will now be the batter. He's 2 for 2 with a single and a double. And the opening pitch from Overlay is a ball. 1-0 the count. As Connor Clark in a little bit short. Outfield is short except to left for Kussmal, who is playing pretty straight. Oh, and the second offering is hit right in the hole between first and second. Clark comes up with it and throws to second. And now there's 2 on and 1 out for Memphis Moore, the DH.
I always get a kick out of when a spectator says, come on, guys, like we're trying to give up hits or we're not trying to get out of here.
Solid hit.
What?
Memphis Moore.
Solid hit. It's first in the inning for Milton. And Moore, the DH, has a single and a hit to third. Or I should say hit to shortstop. Here's the opening pitch from Overlay. In the dirt, blocked by Schmeling. Bottom of the 5th.
We talked about that earlier with Schmeling's first time, catching at this level. And other than the one time where I felt like, he could have gone after it a little harder, he's done a pretty good job today. And that's all they want from him. Just make the routine plays and, be aggressive and hustle and don't be afraid to get in front of the ball. And he's done a good job of that today.
There's a strike taken by Moore, even at a ball and a strike. Did you see the line for Giannis to meet him up in Stoughton today?
I can imagine.
It's probably the population of
And
Milton.
it was free. Who's paying for that?
I don't know. 1-1 pitch. Here it is. Swung on. Oh, and just over the glove of Keelan into left field, down the foul pole. That's going to get almost to the track. 1 run is in. 2 runs are going to be in. And Milton is going to keep playing. It's 12-3. On a nice rip by Memphis Moore down the left field line on a 2 RBI double.
Memphis Moore with all 3 of the RBIs today for Melton. So a good game for him, and he's a cleanup hitter. That's what you got to have. Guy that puts the ball in play and can produce, and he's produced today thus far.
And the batter will be...
Eli Hillman.
Will be running.
Oh, be running for him. Okay, so
Memphis
Hillman's
Moore.
running for Moore. Probably on a re-entry, I would imagine. Or I'm not sure on the DH. Can you re-enter for the DH? I don't think you can.
All right.
But I'm not sure on
Now
that.
running at second base for Milton, number 9, Eli
Nope.
Hill.
2 runs are in. Second hit in the inning for the Red Hawks. And they stay alive as it's 12-3.
Nickel.
And a runner at second. 1 out. Here's the opening pitch. Ball low for Bailey Nickel. He's 1 for 2 today. Has a single and a strikeout. That was a rope from
That was.
Memphis Moore.
Good for Melton. They 12-1.
Yeah.
Things haven't gone your way, and, they battled, and
Yep.
they get to play at least another inning.
That's popped up. Shallow, or I should say, off the infield. And Blomgren takes it right behind second base. So an F6 for Bailey Nickel, and there's 2 outs. And now here's Ethan Hafner, the first baseman.
Ethan Hafner.
Hafner today has struck out and doubled. Runner at second.
Red Hawks with 3 extra base hits today.
All right. And here's the pitch from Overlay. Grounder off the end of the bat, third base side foul. And it's 0-1.
And again, you've got 9 hits off of 2 pretty good pitchers. I mean,
Right.
2 guys that pitched at the state tournament last year, and, those are the little things you build on. Those are the things you take a positive from this game. You're likely not going to come back, but you got to be able to take some positives from a game like this, and Melton will be able to.
0-1 pitch is hit in the air to left. Back is Cussball, still going, and he's got it to end the inning. So for the Red Hawks, they put up 2 runs on a couple of hits, 1 error, and they leave a runner as well. So it's 12-3 after 5 1/2. Josh Goldberg and John Barry at Riverside Park, Veterans Field. Spring sports season underway with boys baseball. We've already had some softball. When's the first track meet around here?
Well, Parker's already had an indoor meet. The Parker
All right.
girls won the Platteville Large Division Invitational, and that
Excellent.
was without Julia Hartwig, who was,
Right.
a 2-time or placed at state in 2 events last year. So I believe April 2nd, they both have Big 8 dual meets, Parker and Middleton, and I'm not sure where Craig is at, but
Can't wait for voting day.
yeah.
All right, Ryan Herbst will lead it off for Craig in the top of the 6th. Herbst today has reached once or twice rather, and that's hit to center, left center, and ranging is Colin Schutz into the gap and makes a running catch. So 1 up and 1 down for Craig for Herbst. He's been on twice, not yet with a base hit. And now here's Colin Hageman. So Hageman, first at bat in the dirt on the offering from Pernot, who's still on the mound. And the next offering in there for a strike, even now, 1 and 1. Hageman replaced Hessling in the bottom half of the 5th in the field, and now we'll get at least 1 at bat. There's a swing and a miss, and it's 1 and 2. Gavin Keelan, the freshman, due up, who's hit the ball all 3 times. He's been up, at least put the ball in play twice. There's a wave and a swing and a miss from Hageman. 2 up and 2 down as he goes down on strikes. And now here's Keelan, the freshman.
Third baseman, Gavin Keelan.
Flew out to center in his last at bat. He's grounded out to first, and he's struck out looking. 2 down, top of the 6th. Pernot lets that one run outside for a ball. You didn't want to get out of here early, did you?
No, I got nowhere to go.
Okay.
Well,
Excellent.
get the paper out, no problem.
Wind up with the pitch from Pernot. Swing and a hit to right. Running in is Kai Curl, and he makes the catch. So 3 up and 3 down for the Cougars. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. Bottom of the 6th coming up, as are the Redhawks. We'll return after this from Oak Park Place and the Humane Society of Southern Wisconsin with the Cougars on top 12-3 on WCLO Janesville Beloit and online at WCLO.com. Josh and John back at Riverside Park as the Milton Redhawks will send up the bottom of the order. Caleb Dahman in left field. And Kai Curl will get his first at bat, I believe, next, followed by Jack Campion in the 7, 8, 9 spots.
Clearing off a little bit. Winds died down, so
That's good.
hopefully we'll have more baseball tomorrow.
Leading off for Milton.
Is that Craig game at home, or do they go over Lake Geneva?
I think it's here because I'm scheduled to cover it,
Okay.
so I hope it's here. Not that I wouldn't mind the drive to Lake Geneva, but it's a little
That's
quicker to come down to Riverside. That's,
Go to
again,
the-
if Riverside's not underwater tomorrow.
Go to the next door pub over there. That's a nice spot in Lake
it is.
Geneva. I would like to have another game on that field full of olive pits.
Yeah.
Because they have done up their facilities very nice over at Badger.
Well, the problem is that if something does happen at Riverside, it's,
Right.
I guess you can go to Roy Coyle and play, but just not the same aesthetically as
no.
it is down here.
1-1 early on Caleb Dahman. Took that one inside.
I guess the youth sports complex certainly available as well, but again, it's nothing like baseball in the spring down at Riverside.
1-1 pitch. That one drops in for a strike. 1 and 2.
Confirmation: the Cougars will be at Riverside Park
All right.
tomorrow against the Lake Geneva Badgers. It might be a battle of unbeatens. I think it will be, unless Badger played today. But otherwise, they're looking at 2 unbeaten teams.
1-2 pitch, just a little bit outside. Overly wanted that. Schmeling did a good job to frame it as best he could, but it evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Early season matchup of unbeaten.
Yes, I mean it's
huge.
huge.
2-2 pitch. There's a swing and a miss, and 1 up and 1 down as Dahman goes down on strikes. And now Kai Curl will be the batter. The junior plays some outfield, some infield. He also throws.
Kai Curl looking to catch up to that last fastball. Overly threw that one well. That was his second K, and again, a little bit of extra gas on that.
1 out, and the opening pitch popped up. It's right near home as tracking and making the catch is Schmeling.
Look like he'd done that 1,000 times.
1 pitch and a second out.
Second base.
Turned and faced home plate, and the ball came settled right into his mitt.
Now here's Jack Campion, who has a single and a strikeout. 1 for 2 today. Campion, a no batting glove guy.
Well, He likes the feel of the bat. There's nothing wrong with that. That's
Opening pitch, swing and a miss. Productive freshman year on the hardwood.
Yeah, it was. And like I say, we may see him in Rodney Weddage's backfield at Milton the next couple of years because from what I understand, he was a very, very good football player before I think he hurt his knee, I want to say. I don't want to be quoted on that, but didn't play last year, but certainly a guy they're going to look to the next couple of years at Milton.
There's a pitch taken for a strike, and that one outside. Now it's 1-2 on Campion. 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th. Overlay still dealing, and the offering right off the end of the bat towards the Milton dugout, staying alive. Strike 3 up there, Murph. Huh? All right.
That'd have been the Bee Gees, right? Staying alive?
Sure.
Yeah, okay.
One and 2 the count. And here it is from Overley. Hit to right. Back on it is Connor Clark, still going, and he can't make the catch. Ball drops. Flying around first is Campion. He's going to hold with a double.
Yeah.
As that was over the head of Clark in right field and hit well by Campion. He's got 2 hits.
Milton's 4th two-bagger of the day. So, again, the Redhawks, I like the way they swing the bats. And, again, they've been aggressive. It's cost them a couple times, taking them out of a couple of innings. But, you know, you look up on the scoreboard and you're sitting with 10 hits. Mm-hmm. That's pretty good. You know?
Keegan Knutson now will be the batter. Freshman has struck out, hit into a double play, and lined to second. 2 down, runner at second for the Redhawks. As Knutson steps in. Overly still wants something from Schmaling. Gets it. Comes set out of the stretch. And here's the pitch. First one floats over. Swing and a miss. Might have gotten a little piece of it.
And I think if you're Milton, you got to look at if you're Chris Agnew, I want to find 1 or 2 guys that can just throw outs. You know, I mean, nothing fancy. They don't have to be strikeout kings or anything, but just guys that can get me outs, that can chew up some innings. Because, you know, looking at their lineup and what they've done today, I think they're going to score some runs.
0-1 pitch from Overlay. Swing and a miss as he went after it in the dirt, did Knutson, and it's quickly 0-2 now to the Milton third baseman. Well, these first couple of weeks are kind of finding out what you got.
They are. And again, you're looking for that 1 or 2 guys, especially in the lineup, to just take hold of whether it's a second base or right field or wherever it might be and assert themselves, and you're comfortable putting their name in the lineup every time out.
Here's the 0-2. Outside, too far for ball 1.
And I think for Craig, again, we know they're going to be good defensively, and we know they're going to hit. It's just, is the pitching – are you going to have that 1 or 2 dominant guys, or is it just going to be a staff that, all you got to do is
there goes
keep
the
your
runner.
team in the game.
Curveball hit in the air, popped up on the infield. Keelan tracks down the foul line and makes the catch for the third out. So for Milton, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left. Top of the 7th coming up. Craig 12 and Milton 3. We'll return after this from Fagan Automotive. Back at Riverside Park at Veterans Field as Hunter Pernott still on the mound for Milton, and the batter will be Connor Clark for the Cougars before going back to the top of the order. Clark in for Tegan Christensen.
Talking about Milton,
sure.
And I'm not going to get political, but
please do.
Tuesday's a big day for Milton. I mean, with the vote for the referendum, if you remember the last year, the baseball team was forced to practice in the old bowling alley.
Correct.
And that went away.
And that was a point of contention as well.
So it's the referendum, whether you're for it or against it is a big deal. And it'll be interesting to see what happens because I got to believe if it's a yes, then it's going to certainly help the Milton baseball team among other sports programs because it's going to allot them a little bit more space that they desperately need.
1-1 the count to Connor Clark, who watches that one trail outside. Took the first one for a strike. The windup and the pitch, and that one's also outside, and I'm not sure if Pernott still has enough juice left. He's been out there for quite a few innings.
Speaking of taxpayer money, Bob Schenk is costing the Janesville taxpayers money because he decided to turn the lights on. And
there's sunlight in the outfield.
Yes, there's sunlight in the outfield, so that's certainly going to be reflected in the taxes that Janesville people that have to pay next year.
Not to get political.
Not to get political at all.
2-2 the count to Connor Clark. Well, I mean, we're sports guys. We see a lot of schools, 2-2 pitch, and that one outside 3-2. We see a lot of different schools. We see a lot of different sizes of schools. We see a lot of different teams, and I there's really no denying that Milton Athletics needs a boost in a lot of different areas.
Yeah, they do. And you go around the area, and I've had the pleasure of, Oregon, Elkhorn, Bigfoot starting theirs on Monday. They're remodeling projects, and it's an area of need. And again, I'm not telling people how to vote, but you can only put your finger in the dike for so long, and eventually, you've got to make repairs. And it's too bad that it hurts them athletically because their overall athletic program is solid. It's just. They just don't have facilities
it's just tough
to back it up.
When you go to similarly sized schools that have, the same athletics, and you walk in and your immediate thought is, well, why can't we have this?
Right, exactly.
That kind of thing.
And again, I understand people voting against it, property taxes and everything else.
Nobody wants to pay more money.
Nobody wants to pay more money, but in the long run, is your assessment going to go down if people are leaving the district and coaches are leaving the district? But that's for another day.
There's a strike taken by Eric Hughes, 1-1. Connor Clark works a walk, and he is aboard as the leadoff hitter here in the top of the 7th. And now here's Eric Hughes.
He's had a decent day.
He scored 3 runs, and he ducks out of the way of that
now they're
one.
throwing at him. They don't want any part of Eric Hughes anymore. And
Pernot has been on that right side of the plate quite a few times on his delivery.
And again, like you said, he might be gassed.
Yep.
I mean, it's just
there's one
first time out
down the middle and fouled away by Hughes. 2-2 the count now to the Cougar center fielder. He's walked and has 2 hits, including a home run, 3 runs scored, and a stolen base. Not a bad line.
Craig with 2 home runs today, and I'm trying to think back to last year. I don't know if you have either stats with you, but
I don't.
Trying to think how many home runs they had last year.
Their runner goes, ball's in the dirt, and he stays, actually.
I don't think he's going to be stealing 12-3. If you're playing against somebody you're not a big fan of, coaching-wise or something maybe, but I can't see Vic stealing in a 12-3 game in the 7th inning. But, again, you're just trying to work on things.
There's a ball inside. That was close. I think Pernot wanted that one. And a second straight walk. And Hughes is aboard, and now there's runners at first and second with nobody out for Clark Schmaling. And
that'll do it for Mr. Pernot.
That will do it, and I think Coach Agnew asking the umpire, where was that? So I think Pernot's day is done for the Red Hawks, and we will see about a pitching change. He's still talking. It looks like he's going to hand the ball to somebody else ready to go, kind of a thing, and we're still getting some talking to.
Craig had their 9-man huddle. All right, guys, here's what we're going to do. But everybody does it. So
yeah, and it's just one of those
I
things.
just would like to sit in on one of them.
Sure.
Just see what is said.
So what's the strategy, fellas?
Maybe they're talking about, I know Vic likes Hoo Hot. Maybe they're talking about going there after the game for some dinner. And
all right, so the new pitcher will be Keegan Knutson, who moves over from third base, and he begins his warm-up pitches. So we will step out to allow Knutson to get warm, and we'll return to Veterans Field with Craig up 12-3 pitching change. In the top of the 7th, Cougars with 2 on and nobody out. We'll return after this from E&D Waterworks and Marling Homeworks on WCLO Janesville Beloit and online at WCLO.com.
E&D Waterworks, in business over 65 years, and some people still don't know everything that we do. Water softeners, iron filters, reverse osmosis drinking water systems, bottled water, salt delivery, electric water heaters, gas water heaters, power vent water heaters, tankless heaters. Install or service it all. 608-752-4718. E&D Waterworks. If water runs to it or through it, we do it.
Homeowners and contractors go to Marling for great value and options for kitchens, baths, and more. Now Marling has improved your next shopping experience with Wisconsin's only craft-made cabinetry design studio. This exclusive in-store studio simplifies your selection process by putting all the fabulous colors and style options at your fingertips. Within this comfortable, well-lighted, and organized space, the designer will help you mix and match color and door styles, choosing from craft-made cabinetry. Go where the pros go. Go to Marling.
So Keegan Knutson is done, or I should say he is done with his warm-ups, and he is on. And the batter will be Clark Schmaling, the catcher for the Cougars, with 2 on and nobody out.
And we can wrap up the line for Mr. Pernot.
Okay, what do we got?
4 innings pitched, 4 hits, 6 runs, 5 of them were earned.
All right.
4 walks and a strikeout. And again, I think just ran out of gas.
Yeah,
your first time out, and the middle innings there, he was fine. He just ran out of gas there at the end.
Knutson's first 2 pitches are overthrown to the outside of Schmaling, and it's 2-0 to the Cougar catcher, who has walked twice and been hit by a pitch. There's a swing and a miss by Schmaling. He's also struck out, but he scored 3 times.
Yeah, the top of the orders, the top of that lineup for Craig has 6, 9, 11 of the 12 runs they've scored, so very productive.
2-1 pitch from Knutson. That is inside, 3-1. 12-3, Craig with the lead. Top of the 7th. Normally you'd see Milton in the top half, but the Red Hawks are the home team today. 3-1 pitch. That's hit to center, and hard. Shoots back a couple of steps, makes the grab. Tagging up will be Connor Clark and Eric Hughes, and they move up to third and second respectively, and there's 1 out with 2 runners now in scoring position.
Just like a sacrifice bunt. You get fly ball deep enough where both guys can advance, and you're back up to Blomgren with second and third and scoring, a good production spot for him, and already with a grand slam.
Yeah, 4 RBIs. He's been hit by a pitch and walked and scored all 3, including the grand slam. And the opening pitch popped up right side over the Milton dugout and out of play.
And it just hit your vehicle, I believe.
It did
smashed
not. I'm way out of there. Murph's taking a chance parking on the grass back there. I'm not going to do that. A little soft around here.
I rode my bike, so I don't have to worry about it.
Careful in the 1-lane tunnel. Here's the second pitch. Outside and high. 1-1 now to Dan Blomgren. Will you stop? 1-1 the count to Blomgren. Micah Overlay to follow. Here's the pitch from Knutson outside. 2-1. Blomgren wants something to hit.
Yeah, he does. He's not liking the pitches aren't in the strike zone. He wants to hack up there.
2-1 the count. 1 out here in the top of the 7th. Knutson kicks and fires. Smacked in the air to right. Foul territory. Giving chase is Hafner and Campion. They both can't get it. And it's even now at 2-2.
When you look at next year and following his brother up to Michigan, certainly Jackson trenched at short. And my guess is Dan will probably end up at third or second. Again, I don't know the situation. I think he told me that the second baseman at Michigan's a senior, the starter. Yep. So be kind of cool if
he comes up there and starts.
Yeah, if you had the 2 Blomgren brothers starting
your middle infield,
short and second, that's pretty cool at a school as prominent as Michigan.
2-2 curveball is hit in the air to right. Down the line, we'll see if it's fair. It is. It's about a foot fair. 1 run is in. Second run is going to be held at third, and Blomgren with a double that just snakes inside the line down the right field side.
I think Blomgren was the only one that thought that thing was going to land fair, because the rest of them, that certainly wasn't going to get caught. And right. I thought they would have taken off. But another RBI. He's up to 5 RBIs. And
Connor Clark comes in, and Hughes is at third. And now the batter will be Micah Overlay.
Now batting pitcher, Micah Overlay.
So Blomgren with 2 hits in his last 2 at-bats. He's 2 for 3. And now Overlay takes the ball to start with. Overlay with a single, a walk. He's flown out to left and grounded out to second.
Good spot for him, too.
Yep.
You know, you just want to produce. You just want to find a
2
way.
on,
That'll get it done.
That's smashed to Schutz in center. Runner tags as Hughes will come in. And now it's 14-3. And Blomgren moves over to third base. So an RBI there for Overly.
His second RBI of the game. So you've got Blomgren with 5 RBIs, Overly with 2, Kusmal, Herbst, and Hessling all with 1 each. So
Hughes comes in on that play. Blomgren's at third, 2 down, runner at third for the left fielder who's now replacing Tresson
Sam
Kusmal.
Streed.
Sam Streed. He takes the ball high.
Now batting left fielder, Sam Streed.
And I'd say a pretty good day for Kusmal.
Yep.
2 for 3, run scored, double RBI.
And that ball gets by the catcher, and Blomgren will come in to score easily, and it'll be 15-3 now. As that one missed outside, so bases are clear for Streed, and it's 2-0. Milton still with some at-bats in the bottom of the 7th coming up.
And again, you're going to look at the score and say, 15-3, wasn't close. But again, Milton battled. They got down 12-1, and you thought, well, they're going to, the game will be over in 5. And to their credit, they scored 2 runs to make it a 7-inning game and, still lead the hit column. So, I mean, again, you got to find things to build off of and some positives for both teams, and I think Milton will be able to do that.
3-0 pitch is up high, and Streed works a 2-out walk. And that will bring up Ryan Herbst, the first baseman, with 2 gone. So Streed is aboard at first, and we get another Council on the mound.
Craig?
For the Milton Redhawks.
What is your Brewer predictions for the year?
Man, it's going to be hard to top last year. We're coming in within 1 game of the World Series.
I did not ask you that. I said, what is your prediction?
I don't know. We get a pitching change again for Milton. Allow me to gather my thoughts. Well, the new pitcher warms up, which I believe they're bringing in Campion? Yes. I believe they are. Jack Campion will be the new pitcher for Milton. So while he gets ready, we'll compose our Brewers' thoughts with opening day on the way tomorrow. It's 15-3, top of the 7th. 3 are in for the Cougars, and a pitching change for the Redhawks. We'll return after this from Blaine's Farm and Fleet on WCLO Janesville Beloit and online at WCLO.com.
Life's more rewarding at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. And now you can save even more with our Loyalty Rewards program. Save on the products you need. Plus, when you join, earn 1 point for every dollar you spend. That's 1% back. Receive member rewards pricing, special offers and savings, and invites to member-only events. And why pay extra to ship and wait when you can pick it up for free today? At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we make it easy. Just do your shopping online from wherever you are at farmandfleet.com. And then you can use our fast and easy drive-thru service to pick up your order. Just drive up and leave the rest to us. You don't even have to get out of your car. We'll have you loaded up and on your way in no time. Shop online and drive through. More ways we make it easy for you. That's genuine value from Blaine's Farm and Fleet. The original, authentic, still family-owned since 1955.
Caleb Dobbins at second.
Josh Goldberg and John Barry back at Veterans Field at Riverside Park, as the new pitcher will be Jack Campion for Ryan Herbst. And that one down low for a ball. As Campion is on.
Back-to-back freshmen. So they start a sophomore in Jackson, and they throw back-to-back freshmen to end the game, and then throw Pernod in there. So
that's a ball for Herbst. Runner on first is Sam Streed. 3-0 the count to the Cougar first baseman, and Campion drops one in there as Herbst took a strike. It's 3-1. Herbst with a fly to center, a pop to second, a walk, And he reached down an error, and he takes his second walk. As Herbst is aboard, and Streed moves to second.
And that's going to be the one take I would have out of this game is I think that's walk number 8 for the Red Hawks,
okay.
And that's not going to get it done.
Nope. So 3 runs in the inning so far for Craig, and now the batter will be Colin Hageman. He takes low and outside from Campion.
Now batting second baseman, Colin Hageman.
And only 1 hit in the inning for Janesville Craig as well, with 3 runs in. So some manufactured baseball here. 1-0 pitch from Campion. That's down low, blocked by Nickel.
And you like the patience, Craig with 8 walks, but when it's 15-3, I'm up there getting my hacks in.
Absolutely.
I don't want to walk.
So Knutson went back to third base. And that one's down low from Campion again. 3-0. He's just rearing it up there.
Yeah, and those 3 pitches, you couldn't swing at those 3. They were all in the dirt. So, you're just trying to find it.
3-0. And here it is. There's another one right over. That's 2 straight batters on 3-0. He pushes one right over the plate. 3-1.
Yeah, if I'm Hageman here, I'm going to, if anything close, I'm going to get my cuts in.
3-1 pitch. Down low, he goes for it and comes up empty, blocked by Nickel. And it's full now, 3-2. The on-deck batter is Gavin Keelan. Wouldn't mind another at-bat. And here's the pitch. Runners go, and swing and a miss. Hageman comes up with it. Or I should say the catcher, Nickel, comes up with it. And Hageman comes up empty and goes down for strike 3. So 3 runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Last go for the Red Hawks. It's Craig 15, Milton 3. Josh and John back at Veterans Field at Riverside Park. New catcher for the Cougars will be A.J. Risotto as Schmeling is done behind the plate. Micah Overlay still on for the Cougars. And his opening pitch is a check swing strike to Charlie Terrell.
Milton in the bottom of the 7th inning, shortstop. Charlie
2, 3, 4 spots due up for Milton here in the bottom of the 7th. And a 12-run lead for Craig. That one floats over to the outside corner. The Blues been given that one pretty consistently on that outside corner. 0-2 to Charlie Terrell. Boy, Risotto is way outside. Sets up and Overlay hits him, but he's far off the plate, so it's 1-2. Wind up from Overlay. Again, setting up outside. Here it is. Right over the plate. Fouled away. And Terrell stays alive. He's got a base hit today, a double. And 2 runs scored along with a walk. Milton owns the hit column. 10 hits.
Yeah, Craig's first 4 batters, Hughes, Schmeling, Blomgren, and Overly, 5 for 10.
There's a check swing strike as Risotto comes up with it, and Terrell goes down. Go ahead, finish that.
5 for 10 with 12 runs scored and 8 driven in.
Not terrible.
Not bad.
Here's Colin Schutz, who's 3 for 3 today. A couple of singles and a double and a run. High and outside for ball 1. Getting back to your Brewers comment.
Yes, let's have it.
I hate predictions. If they're not first in the Central, they're going to be second.
Okay.
Cardinals are going to be better. Cubs have done nothing because Tom Ricketts says there's no money left.
No money left.
Which is hilarious to me, but that's fine. 1-1 pitch. There's another strike. Swinging is Schutz, 1-2.
I think the injuries to Knebel and Jeffress are going to hurt.
Yep.
That's why I think they'll still sign Kimbrell.
Really?
And I'll say they win 94 and still win that division.
Ground ball to third, past Keelan into left field, and Schutz has a 4-for-4 day.
It's not bad.
No, not at all. A 1-out single to left, and now here's Memphis Moore, the DH.
Coach, I'm also turning in my stuff because I'm batting 1,000 and I'm 4-for-4.
I can't be stopped. Moore has a couple of hits today, including a double. He's also grounded out to shortstop.
And his big double in that sixth inning or fifth inning kept the
him in
game alive.
Yeah, that's right. Here's the opening pitch from Overlay, outside a ball. 2 outs to get and a opening season victory for Craig. As the Cougars will take on Lake Geneva Badger here tomorrow. And then start the Big 8 campaign. Snap throw to first from Risotto. Herbst can't get him over there. As back in safely is Schutz. Parker expected to kick off the season with Orfordville Parkview, and that might have to be pushed back if it even gets made up at all.
Monday, D.C. Everest.
Okay. 2-0 pitch. Swung on and fouled back.
Certainly, you and I are both like to shout out and congratulations to Pat Campbell on a well-deserved
Janesville Sports Hall of Fame.
induction in the Janesville Sports Hall of Fame. Just a good guy and well-deserved. And I don't think people realize how good of a career he had on the baseball field.
2-1 pitch to Moore. And runner goes, swung on and fouled, and it's 2-2. I'll be home from, I think, Disney World for less than 24 hours.
Yeah.
Then we get
then
to
you
MC.
get to go that. Yeah.
Get to MC that again this year, so that should be fun.
Well, I'm kicking off the stories on, I believe it's April 5th or 4th with our 7th, one of those, the first Sunday in
one
April
every
with
weekend, yeah.
Sue McEwen doing her first, and then the rest of the staff will take over, and I'll do the last one.
2-2 pitch is fisted foul over the Milton dugout, out of play.
Pretty good group of inductees this year. I was pleased with who were chosen. Just some good people and some good athletes, and Hall of Fame for those that haven't got a chance is a pretty good deal. It's Janesville's had a lot of good ones through the years.
2-2 from Overlay to Moore, and that one off the glove of Risotto, but it's good for a strike as AJ can't come up with it, and Moore frozen by Overlay. That's 2 punch-outs in this inning, and 2 down as the Red Hawks are down to their last out. Here's Bailey Nickel.
Now batting catcher, Bailey Nickel.
Nickel has a single. He's also struck out and popped to shortstop. Milton down to their final out. Here's the pitch from Overlay, curveball, and it's off again the glove of Risotto. Having a little problem back there.
Yeah, a little trouble right now, but your first varsity game, you're getting a little jitters hit you a little bit.
Overlay still dealing.
0-1
the count.
And I can guarantee you Pat Campbell will be the first one to let him know that, hey, you got to have those.
Got to catch the balls.
Got to catch them.
Well, on the past ball, Schutz hustles down to second. Here's the next pitch. That pops away from Risotto. I think he heard us. Now you're in his head.
That took a bad hop there.
So now Schutz down to third as that one scoots away towards the Cougar dugout. And
I don't recall anyone giving you permission to go to Disney World. I'm not sure that's...
That's fine. I can save the money.
Okay.
If you say no, I can go home. I can go home and say that I can't go.
Are you into Harry Potter? Is that why you're going?
That's for the kids, you
okay.
dope. Although I will love the Harry Potter
Okay,
section.
all right. I haven't seen 1 minute of any of the Harry Potters, but
all right.
I heard it's pretty cool from people that have been there.
Yep. 1-1 pitch, strike on the outside corner, and it's 1-2 now to Bailey Nickel. I can't believe they still have a small world. That's going to bring back nightmares from my childhood.
Yeah, well, I think I ventured into the small world once too.
1-2 the count. Here's Overlay. And here he comes. And that one drops low. 2-2. Thought we had it.
I did too.
Two the count. 2 down. For Milton, we'll see if this is it. And here's the pitch. Smack to center. That's going to be a base hit. Run will score. And Nickel says, we ain't ended on me.
Nope.
RBI single for Bailey Nickel, and Schutz comes in to score, and Hafner will now be the batter. The first baseman, who has a double, strikeout, and a fly to left.
And we talked about Craig's top of their order. If you look at Melton's, they're
There's a hit
3,
to
4, 5
second.
have 8 hits.
Hageman up with it, flips over to first, and that will do it just like that. So for Milton, the Red Hawks get 1 run on 2 hits, no errors by Craig, 1 man left. Your final today, Craig 15, Milton 4. We'll wrap it up after this from Blackhawk Propane and the Mercy Health System on WCLO Janesville Beloit and online at WCLO.com.